Welcome back to Classy and Chic Gems podcast. My name is Anita and I'm your podcast host and founder. And I hope that you are doing well. You know, I feel like a lot of people are going through circumstances right now where it's hard. It's hard to deal with things. It's hard to express yourself. It's hard to be in a new place. But I want to give you a little bit of hope today. I want to remind you of the fact that you can do hard things and that you are worth it. So over the last couple of weeks, I've really been thinking about different topics for the podcast and just kind of things that are going on that need to be discussed. And so I really felt like I was being led to talk about more life situations, things that people go through that kind of change them and make them feel different in a lot of ways. But I also wanted to be somebody who is speaking from a point where anybody can listen to this and feel like they're encouraged because, I know that we all are going to walk through circumstances that change us, right? And the more that we walk through difficult times, it changes our trajectory, but it also helps us to understand exactly where we need to be in the future. And so I speak a lot about my life experiences because I think that it's important for me to be that transparent voice when you're listening versus somebody who's just telling you what I think you would like to hear. I feel like you can't reach people if you're not being your authentic self. Now, stick with me for just a second. So I feel like every person in this world is given a unique ability to be able to light up any room that they walk into. But do a lot of people tap into that? No, because they feel like they are what they've been through. And so I just want to throw that out of the window right now. It does not matter if you've been through some of the worst times that you've ever seen in your lifetime. That does not take away your value. You are still valuable. And I think a lot of people feel like, I've been through too much to have anybody look at me a certain way or anybody feel a certain way about me. But some of the most beautiful people that I've met in my lifetime have been people who have walked through very, very hard situations. And those situations have catapulted them into who they needed to be in the future. Now, is that making light of anybody's situation? No, absolutely not. I think that it is important to know that, everybody has a story. And sometimes people will tell you their story outright. Sometimes you have to ask. And the main idea here is to remember that you are worthy. And whatever it is that you are trying to gain in this life, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of great relationships. You are worthy of great friendships. You are worthy of succeeding and reaching your career goals and all of those things, because at the end of the day, you're not a mistake. You are not a mistake. And I think the more that you understand that, you will begin to grow as an individual, and you'll also be able to help other people around you because you'll say, you know what? I am not junk. I am not junk. I was thinking of this story the other day, and I think that it will help a lot of people that are kind of feeling like they're stuck in a lot of ways. So when I was little, I always used to listen to my grandmother. My grandmother, like when we would go visit her, we lived about an hour away. And so when we would go visit my grandparents, my grandmother and I would sit there and talk, and we'd have the best conversations. And I kept thinking, I am surrounded by old souls. Like, I'm having conversations with my grandmother and my granddaddy and their friends. And my grandmother was big on speaking life into me. And so she would talk about all these things that she knew that I was going to do when I got older. And I I'm thinking I'm 9 years old, so I had no idea what some of these things were, but I can actually see what she was doing because she was speaking greatness into me. And I think that a lot of people feel as if they can't find that greatness within themselves right now. So if you're somebody who feels like that, my hope is that while you're listening to my voice, that you will continue to just hold on for just a minute. Because by the time that I finish this story, you're going to have renewed hope in yourself, in your situation, and the things that are going on around you. So my grandmother would always speak hope and life into me, and she would always tell me that I was going to make a difference in this world. She said that I was born to make a difference. Now, a lot of you probably know the story from previous podcasts, but my grandmother had both of her legs amputated. And so just seeing how she dealt with something like that, it really helped me to understand, what life looks like when you have challenges going on. My grandmother never complained. She was always somebody who inspired other people. And she also had this grace and angelic face that she was somebody that I always looked up to. And so to be able to hear her say these things while she's walking through her own set of challenges, it really helped me understand that at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel about yourself. What you project outwardly is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. And I think that it's okay to walk through circumstances that are painful. It's okay to walk through circumstances that make your heart hurt. We've all been there. We've all walked through very, very hard things, but it's not okay to stay in that place. It is not okay to stay in that place. I think that it is important to be surrounded by people who you can talk to, who you can just say, look, I just need to talk. I don't need any advice, but I just need to talk right now and just let this out. I feel like our friendships are gifts. We're gifted to have amazing friends in our lives. And I think that we should allow those friends to be there for us. And I don't think that we should think that we're a burden to anybody else, because if you're a friend with somebody, then they want to know what's going on with you. They want to know how you're doing. They want to know how you're really doing. And so the more that you understand this, the more you grow. So my grandmother speaking life into me and helping me understand exactly what purpose means was something that kind of catapulted me into not only greatness when I got older, but it also helped me understand exactly what it looks like to watch somebody who's going through something. It gave me compassion, it gave me strength, and it also gave me the ability to be able to have empathy for somebody's situation. Whenever you are an empath, which I am the biggest empath. I have this goofy personality, but I'm the biggest empath. I will tell you that right now. And I'm also an introvert. So those three things going on with my personality, sometimes I am very, very overwhelmed whenever somebody is going through something hard. But I'm still able to speak or listen or be that, person who wants to be there for them, because my heart hurts whenever other people hurt. And sometimes I know that's a feeling that I wish would change, because it's hard, whenever somebody else is going through something and you can feel it, it hurts you that they're going through it. And so, it kind of makes your brain think, okay, well, how do I handle this? How do I handle what I'm feeling, but then also help them? And so you learn to deal with it. And so I guess it's a blessing and a curse, because for me, it was hard to see my grandmother going through, what she was going through. But then it also taught me so much about life. So if you understand that you are given a certain amount of days on this earth, And we're not meant to know exactly when we're going to die. We are meant to live out our days as if every single day is our last. And when you begin to live like that, you begin to understand that life itself is a gift, and who you surround yourself with matters. Now, does that mean that you have to feel as if you're less than? No. You see, I feel like every single person on this earth has a gift, and they are filled with gifts inside of them. But I think that some people recognize their gifts later in life, and they might not recognize them right away because they've walked through so much where it's made it traumatic for them to be able to move forward or even change their mindset. But my hope for you is that you realize today that you're worth it. You're worth it. And if you're somebody who is praying that you have great connections in your life, or you feel as if, you don't have anybody that you can talk to, or if you feel as if you don't know what you're doing career-wise, I'm here to remind you that you are here for a reason. You are here for a reason. So I think one of the best things that you can do is to just be who you're called to be. I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and the conversation was really funny because I was talking to one of my older friends, and we were talking about the fact that, life looks different at every single phase of your life. It's like you understand things whenever you're, say for instance, in college. It looks different whenever you graduate college. So I started college when I was 17, and then I finished undergraduate school when I was 20, and I turned 21 right before I started my master's. Now, I was one of the youngest people in my graduate school program, and so for me, it was a little different because I'm the baby in all of these classes, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to hurry up and turn 22. But now that's the norm because a lot of people go straight out of, when they finish undergraduate school and they go straight into graduate school. But I was 21, and my mindset was very, very positive. Don't get me wrong. But I also had this mindset of, okay, there's a lot of things that I need to learn. And so as I learned different things in the field, I learned to be a different type of person when it came to understanding my abilities. So I think that what we have to realize is that no matter what age we are, no matter what we're going through, no matter what is coming against us, that we are still worthy of all the things that are good in our lives. We are so worthy of that. I was looking in a magazine the other day, and this magazine was talking about beauty standards. And so they were talking about how women feel a certain way, like if they have cellulite or if they have scars or whatever it is. And I thought to myself, I have both. I have scars. I have cellulite. And when I look in the mirror, I still think that I'm beautiful. There's nothing that changes about me that makes me feel as if I'm not beautiful, because I know that.